Now, I'm making a Bellagio game with my own twist, that being it's a dice game, and I want to add an analog horror aesthetic to it. And in this video, I'm going to be turning famous characters from internet horror media into consumables for my game, specifically trinkets. Now I know not even one of you guys know what this project even is, so let me break it down for you in simple terms. My game, named House of Archie, is a grid-based dice game with a soon-to-be added horror aesthetic, where you have a bunch of dice effects which you can mix and match for the best dice build. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the trinket system in my game, and I'll explain for further context. To recap from my last video, trinkets temporarily boost a dice's stats for the current roll, giving players more flexibility and room for more clever plays. And without further yapping, let's get straight into it. Now, the first character I did was from a popular series called the Mandela Catalog, that being the character Gabriel or Alt Gabriel. To give some context on what Gabriel is all about, here's a brief description of what he is. Gabriel's fake form looks like a calm and beautiful angel with long blonde hair, pale skin, and blue eyes, and white robes that make him seem peaceful and trustworthy. His gentle expression and soft features easily trick people into believing he is good. In his true form, he becomes tall and thin, with distorted features, huge unsettling eyes, and a creepy smile that makes him look frightening and unnatural. For the trinket, I decided to go with a feather. This is mainly to represent the way he tricks people into thinking he is good. For the design, I made a simple feather sprite as the base and used dull colors to give it that classic black and white theme I see in the VHS tapes. I also decided to add this line effect to add this sort of vibe to kind of give off the feeling that something's wrong with the feather. The name of the trinket, I decided to call it the False Man's Feather. And for its effect, I made it so that it buffs the min and max score by time 5, but halves its total multiplier at the end of the roll, which would make sense since the point of the character is that it's supposed to be one of deceitful lies and false narrative. Well, in my opinion at least. For the second character, or should I say characters, I picked the ignited animatronics for the joy of creation. If you don't know what they are, here's a quick summary. The animatronics are demonic, charred doppelgangers of the Five Nights at Freddy's withered animatronics. So in a sense, they're similar to the character we just talked about, Alternative Gabriel. When coming up with the design of the trinket, something really caught my attention. An eye. Yes, you heard me, an eye. Looking back at the game, mainly that of the basement level, when you're talking to the entity that the player is experiencing throughout the game, we see this. Just an eye staring back at us. It gave me a feeling of something bigger controlling these animatronics, sort of like an overseer. When coming up with the design, I kept it really simple, just a weird eye staring back at you. Really, if not exactly like how the animatronic eyes are designed. For the name, I decided to call it the Eye of the Overseer, and for its effect, I made it so that whenever this trinket is placed on a die, the die copies onto the available cardinal adjacent spots next to it. Sort of how like the animatronics are just imitations of the regular wither animatronics. Overall, this is my favorite design so far out of the whole video. For the last character of this video, I went with the character from another analog horror series, Bond from the Walton Files. For a brief summary on who this character is, Bond is the main protagonist of the Walton Files, a 7-foot-tall blue rabbit animatronic who serves as the mascot of Bond's Burgers. Possessed by a delusional and psychopathic entity, Bond murders individuals associated with Bunny Smiles Inc., aiming to make them beautiful by stuffing them in animatronics. For the design of the trinket, I went with a cracked gemstone that feels imperfect, giving the sense that it's trying to be beautiful but it's clearly off from what you expect. I also shaped it slightly like a bunny ear, though it came out a bit strange, which honestly makes the design even better and more unsettling for what I was going for. For the name of the trinket, I decided to call it Gem of Deadly Imperfection, and for its effect, any dice that has a lower value to that of the die that the trinket is used on, its value is added to all diagonal neighbors of that die. This is inspired by how I previously stated that Bond kills and stuffs people into animatronics to make them more beautiful. So yeah, that's the direction I'm taking with the trinkets in House of Archie. Instead of being random stat boosters, each one is tied to a character, a theme, and a mechanic that actually reflects on what the character represents. Whether it's a depiction with the false man's feather, imitation with the eye of the overseer, or twisted imperfection with the gem of deadly imperfection, I wanted every trinket to feel meaningful both visually and gameplay wise. This is also where the analog horror aesthetic really starts to shine, because it's not just visuals anymore, it's design, mechanics, and the overall feeling the player gets while playing it. Everything is a little off, a little unsettling, but still a strategic and fun to experiment with. And honestly, I think this is what's going to make the game stand out the most. If you've got any ideas for trinkets, characters, or effects I should add next, drop them in the comments. I'm always looking for more messed up ideas to throw into the game. And if you want to see the project grow, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next devlog. Hope you have a nice day. Doug's Dev out.